We welcome you to this year's Martin Luther King March here in Austin, Texas. We're coming straight down 11th Street. This is Simone Pollard. We're standing out in VictoryGrill right here in Austin, Texas. And we're going to see what they have to say today about this year's march.
The greatness of the MLK Day is it shows the power of the church community working together. When I say the church, I'm talking about the blacks, white, all Christians. This never would have happened without us being together and move as a Christian to solve the problem of injustice in our nation.
I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the heat. I mean, it's hot today and it's January, but we tend to be complacent when we feel like there's injustice. And I feel like people should mobilize more. Like we should come together more. Not just when violence happens, but like on a more regular basis.
I love to see more than anything the diversity, because it stands exactly what this man stood for, the diversity. You're not going to see all black, you're not going to see all white, Mexican. It's going to be an array of everybody.
Well, this is wonderful, the energy and the excitement, and it's a testament to what we can do when we're all together.
So Dr. King was just a spearhead. He was a black Baptist preacher, seminary trained. I think a lot of times we forget that the power of education. We overlook that power, and because of King's seminary training, he was able to frame into a theological perspective slavery and injustice as a sin.
I was just a young girl in 1965 when this act was passed, was signed for us to be legal to vote without paying poll tax. I can remember going to the poll tax office with my mother. Only she could vote, and she paid $1.32 for poll tax, and she was able to cast her vote. And I watched my mother vote and how proud she was.
I am just happy to be alive, because in the 60s we went through so much turmoil. It was so much turmoil just to be here and experience the 2100. That's a blessing in itself.
My birthplace is Tennessee, where our legendary leader, Martin Luther King, lost his life on behalf of those who were seeking freedom in every arena in life for the pursuit of justice and freedom for all. So I feel a particular sense of awe and thanksgiving today.
I just think it's a great reminder to stop and think and reflect, and also think about what still has to happen and what needs to be done.
So the King Day celebrates the greatness of this nation. For us to have come as far as we've come without having a race war.
Well, I'm from Germany, and when everybody has heard around the world of Martin Luther King. And I mean, I wanted to see also, I mean, she's from Georgia, so they have a little bit more hands-on history with it. But we definitely, I mean, in Germany, we definitely know him, and we really appreciate the struggle for the freedom of the oppressed. I mean, I think he did a great thing. I mean, everybody knows his speech. We read it at school. We know about it. You know, like the "I Have a Dream" speech. I mean, the most famous speech. And I think it gives a lot of oppressed people in the world a lot of hope that things can change if you just stand up for them.
This is the first march that myself and my daughter has participated in, and it is just a wonderful feeling to be a part of something so beautiful. When you see all these spirits come together in a time right now where the world really needs it, and I'm just happy to be a part of it.
I think it's awesome in terms of what he did in terms of nonviolence, laying down his life and really opening up the eyes of different races in terms of how do we actually all come together and accomplish something. And so to see that the legacy and the history of MLK and his dream continues to live on, and seeing the generation of today continue to pick up the mantle and not forgetting about what others did for us.
I was 13 years old in Selma, 1965, when it occurred. I saw it on the TV. We've come a long way to have a black man in the White House.
And it's such a joy to enjoy good music, each other's presence, to eat good food, and just think about how far we've come. Things are bad. Things have been bad. We've experienced some tragedies as a culture, but look at how we've come together to protest, to make moves, to let our voices be heard, and it's just a blessing. If it wasn't for Martin Luther King and those who have come before us, we wouldn't be able to have these days and these times to let ourselves be heard.
It's the stuff that's happening every day that's systematically happening. That's the worst injustice.
I know the sting of prejudice. I know the sting of being set aside. But I have also lived to see the victorious things.
So this is the greatest country in the history of the world. So God bless you and celebrate.
But I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory